Hello and welcome back to Billy Ho Sports, away from the studio today. So you're just going to get the past performances. You won't get to see my pretty face, but we'll get right to it. Today's video is going to cover Friday's late pick 5 card at Saratoga. I also have a video out on the grade 1 Diana and grade 2 Bowling Green Stakes as part of Saturday's racing card. So check those out. I will be back tomorrow in studio with a recap of those two races as part of the late pick 5 for Saturday. So we are going to have another split the pot draw coming up very soon, probably more than one, for Haskell Stakes Day, which is a week from this Saturday. So check the description for details. But in a nutshell, you just subscribe and you leave a comment, and that's going to get your name in the draw. Always hit that like it while you're at it. And if you want to leave a comment, give me your Friday pick 5 single. And we're going to jump right into race number 6, 8 furlongs on the inner turf for 2-year-olds. Very difficult to cap. 7 out of the 9 horses are first timers. So there's really not a whole lot to talk about, but I will tell you right now that I will be playing the coupled entry of British Invasion and Honoree, just two for the price of one. Obviously, they're both bred pretty well. Miggy Clement, Christophe Clement's son, trains British Invasion. That one looks pretty good. 21% trainer, well bred for route distance, all that kind of stuff. Code of honor. Just a lot to like about these two. And when you're facing, there's only 2 other horses in this race with any race experience, and they just have one under their belts. And we'll talk about the first one now, which is Signatory Man, and that is a 4th place finish in his debut, going 5 furlongs, and was bumped, steadied early, hung a bit wide. He showed his youth. He flopped back to the left lead down the stretch coming home here to get this 75 number, but it was still a pretty good race. And if he hadn't flopped back to the left lead, he looked like he was going to probably be up for the show, or for the place. Probably, actually, he could have got second there. Maiden 120K. Brendan Walsh, Luis Saez, can't go wrong there. 3-1 for a reason. So it's going to be a top choice, obviously. And this one's going to be a top choice too, but I'm going to have a spoiler alert for old Sherry DeVoe here later on. Jose Ortiz. She's not very great with the first time starters. You can see 10% wins. Of course, Jose's tearing it up per usual. He's just awesome jockey. 5-2 morning line. I don't think it's going to go off as the favorite, but it is going to be one that I will look to find others. Number 3, Million Dreams, bred by the University of Kentucky, which I like. Go Cats. But the rest of it's just not much. Breeding, we have no idea who the Golden Sense progeny is. That's the sire by my standards. We've got no real data on that. So that right there is red flag number 1. But so beautiful on the other side. It's pretty decent, but not a huge dam production index. The dam sire was good, but there's only so much you can do. So we're going to pass on that. Here's the other first time starter. This is our second time, I should say, the one with a race under his belt. 2-year-old colt sired by Uncle Mo, trained by Todd Pletcher, Irad Ortiz. You can kind of see why you're leaning toward these horses. I always like horses. I defer with the experience, and I think the blinkers are going to be what this horse is going to need to move forward off that 90K maiden, because he seemed to be kind of interested, got off a step slow, brushed at the start, so maybe just distracted coming out of the gate for the first time. Could very possibly be all those things. So blinkers is going to get him dialed in down the stretch, going straight. So I'll be looking forward to seeing the and trying grass also. Obviously, Uncle Mo, no stranger to progeny being successful on grass. And the dam has 2 winners out of 4 starters and 1 turf winner. So well bet in debut. So all that stuff adds up to using the 5. Epic Desire. Then you have number 6, Jet Off. I don't think that I'm going to get there with that one. George Weaver is pretty good on turf debuts, and 17% with first time starters. So I wouldn't argue with you if you wanted to throw them in there, but I'm going to pass on that and look at number 7, Orbit. And that is trained by Mark Cassie and sired by Medaglia del Oro. Bullet gate work leading in. Breeding suggests he likes grass. I like horses sired by Medaglia del Oro. They're very, very stamina, very good stamina horses, and should be this one should be live for Mark Cassie. He's not a slouch when it comes to debuts. 12-13% is not off the charts or nothing, but it's pretty good. And you got number 8, Helio or however you say it. Sired by Authentic, which is pretty good. Bill Mott, Junior Alvarado. Not great with firsters, but he's just on a higher level right now. So if you wanted to go after that one, I wouldn't be mad at you right now. But basically, what it amounts to for this one is a crapshoot. So I'm going to spread two horses with at least one race under their belt. Then you have a coupled entry, which is going to get you an extra horse. One of them may scratch, but they may not. But I used to love coupled entries when I was a kid. Everybody loves two for the price of one. So I am going to go with Signatory Man. I believe that's the three horse. Uh, no, wait a minute. Let's go back. The coupled entries got me screwed up. So let's just go back to the top, make sure. So we're going to go with the one British Invasion that gives you the two, or gives you the 1A. And then I'm going with the two, skipping the three. So it's going to be 1, 2, 5, Epic Desire, and then 7. So 1, 2, 5, 7 is leg one. Go to race 7, Coronation Cup. This is the only stakes race, 5.5 on turf. Pretty weak, tight action there for a Friday, but this is kind of an off week, I guess, for horse racing. But I'm going to try to keep you entertained as much as possible. Number one makes haste. Her 2025 debut for Miggy Clement in the Melody of Colors, fourth place finish, driving down the stretch. And then the next effort, she blew out of the gate and went wire to wire. So I don't know what to think about that, but it's 2-1 morning line. So probably going to be a really good look at this one. So Flavian Pratt aboard, you can't go wrong there. Early speed, inside post. I think all that stuff adds up to a pretty good shot to get this done. Number 2, Italian Sortie, or I should say Soiree. I misspelled it on my sheet here. Started her career on the dirt, broke her maiden first time, then went to the Adirondack, second behind Queen's MG, then moved to the turf at Woodbine, went 8 furlongs in the Grade 1 Natalma, and she ran pretty well, finished fourth there. Now we fast forward to the 3-year-old debut back on turf in the Memories of Silver, and didn't really get there. Ran up against Laura Lynn. You saw opulent restraint in the in Virgin Colada over last weekend in those big turf races at Saratoga. So really, really strong company in the Memories of Silver, and then goes to the Jersey Girl and some other pretty good ones there too. Finishes sixth. Not much of an impact. Uh, so was on the Kentucky Oaks Trail way back in the day, but a couple of turf outings. Terra Nova's putting her back on the turf from the dirt, so not very good there. Not very good third layoff. This one will be a tough one to go with at 12-1, but you got Luis Saez, so that's at least something. And so I don't know if this horse is a turf or a dirt horse, and I guess they're still trying to figure that out too. Better results on dirt, in my opinion, but uh, you can see just 3 lifetime starts on turf. So probably going to pass on that one. But then we go to Chloe, number 3. This one, Irad, Jose D'Angelo. Spoiler alert, Jose's got 2 in here that both look good. She began her run on the Gulfstream All Weather before moving up to the Suncoast Stakes. D'Angelo takes over the training, moves her to the turf, pays it off with a victory in the Melody of Colors Stakes right off the bat. Then her latest race went at Saratoga, going 5.5 on the dirt because it was pulled. So it was one of them days where they're like, we want to protect the turf because you see a fast track. Ran second, almost won the race. So I like horses that you can keep in the mix, even if they have a race pulled off the turf, and you can still expect them to run well. So she overcame a bobble at the start too, and held the lead into the stretch. So that one was pretty good. You can see Spirited Boss is there. That's our other D'Angelo horse. We'll get to in a second, but this is Laurice and George Weaver, 12-1. Probably not going with this one. 76-1 in the Grade 3 Mamselle. Nearly blew up the trifecta in Super, but she just fell short. Was in third down the stretch with She's So Spicy and Killwind, but just couldn't get it done. Well, she likes to go fast early and slow late, so I don't know how that's going to work out for her here. Broke her maiden at Saratoga last August, so she does have consistent numbers. So, you know, possibilities there, at least exotics, I'd say. And here's 5, Spirited Boss. This is Jose D'Angelo, but you can see nothing but good finishes versus the state breds in Florida, and then a win, and then second place. But the winner, you can see Starship went out and won next out after that, and finished third. Fought with Chloe in that in this one. So that was off the turf. That was the one at Saratoga we just discussed. So right there in third place, pretty good. So that one you got to have interest in, and then you got Ambitot, 7-2 morning line, third in the Prime Power, Grade 3 winner at 2 years old, won the Matron. Then 2025 debut in the Limestone was a tough group. She's so spicy, kill win. But ran ninth, beating 10 links. So that was by the same grade three Mamselle Limestone. So hard to say if I'd go this one. But you got Mark Cassidy, Dylan Davis. So it could have just been a fluke. So if you forgive that one, it looked and then you can't really hold a Breeders' Cup flop against anybody. So most of her race, but she does seem to throw in a clunker. If you go, she wins. She goes fourth and then wins. Then seventh clunker, third neck clunker, third clunker. So maybe she's due for a good race. So Gata Brazil rounds out or technically rounds out the field because the rest of these are main track onlys, and I don't see enough weather going through there to pull anything off the turf. But if they do, all bets are off, obviously, because you'll have to do some refiguring. But we're going to play it straight. Got to Brazil, Brittany Russell leading the way at Laurel Park. She wins at 37% clip, 14 wins out of 38 starts. That's incredible. Good on her. And she got Manny Franco to ride. She can. I think this horse can compete for sure. So I'm going to use both the D'Angelo horses here, and then Italian Soiree is interesting as an exotics play. Could surprise. So I do have race 7 selections. That the race 6 was a no bet. There's just too many unknowns there. But I'm going to pick number 5, Spirited Boss, to win this race. Make it the key horse and pair it with the 2, 3, 7. So however you want to bet that. Leg 2 is going to be the 3 and the 5. So we are just going with the 2 D'Angelos here. So let's go 3, 5 and move on to race 8. And we have a 6.5 furlong affair, maiden claiming 50 grand. So Do gets first Lasix, doing the Do, making the 25 debut by adding Lasix, cutting back to a sprint. Possible for exotics, Contessa, Junior Alvarado, but I don't know if I want to trust a horse. I don't always back horses that come off a year off, a layoff. I do it on occasion, but this one doesn't qualify in my book. It would really, really have to have some big time back class. So Stanley Cat, a coupled entry. Stanley Cat and Do. So 1A Stanley Cat. This might be where we don't go with the coupled entries. But Contessa returns to the dirt with this one, might help the cause, but really she needs to jump out of the boat with the speed figures. I mean, we're looking for a horse that's going to run an 8, probably a 78 to an 82, somewhere in that range, or at least in the 70s. But this one just barely cracked 70. Hasn't seen a mid 70s in a long time. So since Tampa Bay. So pass on that one. And that sounds like fun. We'll go back to the dirt as well with this one. Nearly won at this level 3 races back. There's the maiden claiming right there. It was up by a head and just didn't get there going a mile. So this is going to be significantly short. Well, not significantly shorter, but a little bit shorter. So logic would dictate that you would think this that would be a good distance, but that doesn't always shake out that way. But you can see 3 straight mid 70s races, and all improving really going back to March. Ran a 70, then a 77, but dropped a little bit, but right back up. So if you can run a 76, you're going to be competitive at 9-2. We'll take it. So let's move on to Munson. And that's a newly gelded lightly raced horse going back on Lasix. Second start of 2025. Debut was terrible break from the gate. He was banged around and shuffled all the way back to the rear. First in prime power on paper, but still might be an overlay because you really, when you look at this horse compared to the rest of them, you're like, how is he first in prime power? But it's probably just if you get this one, if you forgive this race and just toss it, you got a 72 and a 79, and then you're going to have coming off of that Saratoga layoff, you would have a chance to really improve. So high percent jockey. So Munson 4-1 morning line, worth a look there. Jose always gives them a chance. And then you got number 4, Dark Devil. Got to within a nose of the win on March 7th. He showed better speed at 2 years old when Brad Cox had him. So I'm probably going to pass on him. Although the low 70s are mildly competitive, sharp workout for Rudy Rodriguez. He does have 4 wins and 20 starts, so he's on a pretty good roll himself right now. And does have Louis, so maybe I'll rethink that by the weekend, but I don't have it just yet. Clint Master, 0 for 11, never in the money. Don't see anything changing here. Pass. Holy Dancer making just his third start. Blinks come on for the semi-retired Nick Zito. And I honestly, I didn't really even know Nick Zito was still running horses, but he just has a few here and there that he runs, but I haven't seen any good ones yet. So I don't really give this one much of a chance either. Blinkers on maybe, but maybe he's just doing it for the fun of it. I don't know. Now you've got the number 7 Gallo de Fuego. or Gallo de Fuego, has shown some flashes of enough speed to win this race. You can see that's the first 80s we've seen. That 82 at Churchill Downs May 15th only dipped to 78 just a little bit. So pretty good figures there. So this horse has got a good chance to win, I think. Second behind Instant Replay, who was a favorite in one of the, I believe was the Indiana Derby last week. And then finished behind that horse. Fourth behind Baby Max was another pretty good one. Third off the layoff, Dale Romans. These are the kind of races I like to see Dale Romans enter horses in. He gets Irad Ortiz to ride, so big jockey upgrade. So got it going on there. And then the number 8 horse is World Fair. Most consistent, 3 straight second place finishes. Bayerano gets to ride, and then we switch to Pratt. So obvious upgrade in jockey and really just banging around the 80s, really good speed numbers. So the last 2 horses we've looked at have been the 2 best as far as speed numbers go. Ron Marquette, Flavian Pratt. I can't land anywhere but chalk here. So I believe we'll pan up to here and go with Dark Devil, the 4 horse with Louis aboard, and then we're going to go with the 7 and the 8 World Fair. So 4, 7, 8 is going to be the ticket, and then race number 9. We're going to get right after it here. 1 mile on the inner turf. Rhetorical is let's see. I think we're going to shorten this race up because when I first looked at it, I saw Rhetorical, big class edge. And then you also have a coupled entry in here, which is you can't beat that either. So Mark Cassie and Dylan Davis, 1-2 odds on the board. So Rhetorical has to be the highly looked at here. I don't know who else is going to beat this horse. To be honest with you, going down through here, I mean, he's really on a come up. The last win was State Bred 81K by 5. So I do, and I also like the inside position here. So not too bad there. Save a little ground. Although turf races can be deceiving, so maybe we got to find something here to beat them. But wire to wire winner for shared success, James Bond. Jose Ortiz aboard. That's some mild candidate to get it done. Seems similar numbers. And then you have 2B, another coupled entry. Rabaja, and that's James Bond. Got killed in the last race at Aqueduct, has been off more than 9 months. That's one I would pass on as well. Seaver, 30-1. Just the speed figures just aren't quite there. And no class to speak of. Just kind of just regular old optional claimers here. Baron of Sealand. I'm kind of going off the odds to start with it anyway, but this one doesn't look too awfully bad. Had the win in February going a mile, then got it pulled off to the turf, ran 4th against Winstock and company. So Baron of Sealand, slapping the face. A couple of decent ones here. Manny Franco rides this one for Anthony Detro, and 88, 85, 80s, 87. So some pretty good clip, pretty good figures, very consistent in the state bred ranks. So 4th in prime power, blinkers come off. Neutral network, probably a long shot, low percent jockey, Jose Gomez. Catermancy, can't really look at it here. Speed figures are not good enough. And the finishes aren't either. I mean, you can't, got to go all the way back to January when Chad Brown had him last fall, but he hasn't really done much with him since he got him from Chad Brown. Cable Ready, Marah, Linda Dixon, connections aren't there. Poor turf starts record. Might improve with blinkers and 3rd off the layoff, but I doubt it. Ocala Dream, 20-1. Did run a 90 here, almost cracked it, but that was after it got pulled off the turf in the slop. So you can see that all weather wasn't any good. And then a $20,000 claiming race was a decent finish, but Safi Joseph gave them away. So we'll pass. Now, Laurel Valley, Mike Maker, Flavian Pratt. This might be one I might come back later on in the week, and I'll post something in a community message board or something if I find a way with this one, because it got a 93 here, going a mile and a 16th on the inner turf against 100,000 N1X company. That's pretty solid there. And then, but what wasn't beat by much in the last race, but gave it up down the stretch. Born Dancer is the 10 horse, and then we got main track onlys after that. Third, not bad. Kingston didn't fare very well there either. So really, honestly, I didn't do a heck of a lot of handicapping on this particular race, but I honestly don't see anybody being any better than the one rhetorical. Just too big a speed figure for a lightly raced horse that's improving. Not this time. The breeding's there. William Walden, Irad Ortiz, and then you get a bonus horse. So if you're singling the one, you'd at least get the 1A set to go with it. A lot of times that 1A can come through for you, and it's got some stakes experience. So leg 4 is the one horse rhetorical. Now we go to race number 10 and finalize things. And this one I got a little bit of better grip on, 8.5 on the turf, 100K. Papiamento, 20 to 1. The speed figures suck. Second off the layoff. I see much better options here. Whit Beckman, he's really not high on my list of trainers right now. So Ashbury Park is one that's in the mix. That's 2 to 1. Chad Brown, Flavian Pratt. I mean, you can't. Sired by Frankel. Brown raced him once at 2 years old. Saw plenty that said he's going to get it done, and then came back and won at first asking to break the maiden, going a mile and a 16th. This one's a strong single candidate too, if you want. That was the June 6th, surface and distance. Very impressive. Dug in down the stretch, cleared the field by more than 3 lengths. All the second numbers add up too. So we've got second time Lasix, second off layoff, must use. And then you got Simulate, 15 to 1. Mott horse broke the maiden going this distance on the inner turf. That was what Mott wanted to see. And then you fast forward to June at Delaware, runs 4th, going a mile and a 16th, and probably needed that race. Broke from the outside post. He looked pretty good. He popped when it was time to close. So he might like being back on the Saratoga turf, is what I'm thinking. So one to look at. Griffin's Wharf, 30 to 1, making the move to turf after trying to do battle with the likes of Tip Top Thomas, who we just saw dominate. So no thanks on that. Getting out of that division, but just far back on dirt. Thomas Morley, first on grass, 9%. No thanks. 5 Assertiveness, 10 to 1. Pletcher's horse dropping in for a tag, dropping in class after finishing 5th in the Paradise Creek at 6 furlongs. Was closing late. So if you wanted to extrapolate the difference, he's probably going to be closer on the lead. You got Into Mischief, plenty of average win distance to get there. And you can see the 2 races at a mile almost got there as well, going a little bit sharper. Good. This is the late pace figures. What this one needs a little bit more of, needs about a 88 to an 89 pace figure. Maybe drop this 96 down to a 91. And Pop coming home, Assertiveness can get it done without caution. 15 to 1 comes in with a lot of graded stakes experience, but no results. Going to be the second start of 2025. The last start in November versus similar company at Churchill. He was right there, but I'll probably only use this one in exotics. And then we'll bid a Fon Very Well to the 7 horse. 8 to 1, looking to go 2 for 2 in his young career for William Walden. Nice debut win after a slow start. Was able to close with a great rally. Now we got upgraded Jock to Louis. So we ain't bidding Fon Farewell by any means. We're going to use this one. Now number 8, Hands of Time, is 15 to 1. That's Miguel Clement. All the negatives were either off the turf or on the all-weather track. So he did break the maiden at 8.5 on the Toga inner turf. So this is basically his 2025 debut, if you want to call it that, because he's not been on the grass since that win going back all the way to August, actually, because it got pulled off the turf here. Well, no, there we go, October. So that win last October was the last time he was on turf. So now I think it's got Hands of Time's got a good chance. And then this is a horse I kind of liked already, Super Times. And Mark Cassie, 8 to 1 morning line, debuted on turf at Gulfstream, won going 8 furlongs. Then they tried the dirt to face River Thames, who he ran second to, albeit a distant second, but ran second to River Thames. That's pretty solid. Then wheeled back 26 days later, went 9 furlongs, and had to deal with Grande and Jimmy's Dailies and indecisiveness, and failed to sustain his drive. So finished 4th in that one. And now we're going to go back to the turf. So maybe this one's ready to pop after 4 months. Got a shot. Now number 10, Handsome Pants. Didn't look too handsome, getting beat by 24 lengths in the last race, but switching to a better jockey, going to the grass. 1 turf winner from the Dam. So good speed, but I'm just going to pay to see it. Now this one is obviously going to be one that I'll look at. Is that Straight Cash Homie? And I covered this one last week as part of the Belmont Oaks. Sherry DeVoe scratched out of there, which was probably the right move. Now this 3-year-old is facing this group rather than Zulu Kingdom and Capitol Hill. So gotta love that. But gonna have to contend with King of Ashes, the 12 horse who's 5-1. That's Brendan Walsh. Irad aboard. The maiden win came on the Gulfstream Synthetic after it was pulled from the turf. Led them to go up to Turfway to try the John Pataglia, but that didn't go well. Short layoff, back to grass, nearly won and went up against early adopter, who's a pretty tough cookie, and then lost by a neck to was it World Beater, I think, that won that race in the Audubon. That was a light bulb moment. So I think this horse is ready to win. And World Beater actually ran very tough against Test Score, who was like my best bet of the Belmont Derby day last Saturday at Saratoga. So if we have any scratches, and we're bound to have, 13 colonies will get in, but I don't know if I'll have interest in that one. Not much of a chance. Tried the Pennine Ridge, but didn't fare very well. Who knows if that race would have been under regular conditions? I would have liked to have seen that effort on turf, but just breaking the maidens not enough for me to get there on that one. So we are going to pass on that. So it's going to be outside post horses. So we'll go and start with, I believe it's Fawn Farewell. So we're going to use the 7 Fawn Farewell, the 9 Super Times, and the 11 Straight Cash Homie, and 12 King of Ashes. So 7, 9, 11, and 12. So the round out the late pick 5, leg 1 is going to be race 6, and I'm going 4 deep. 1, 4, 5, 8. Remember, we got a coupled entry, so you're going to get 5 horses in that one. Then you have the 3 and the 5 in leg 2. Those are the Jose D'Angelo horses. Then leg 3 is 4, 8, 9, semi-chalky, and probably chalky with the single in leg 4, race number 9. And that's the 3-horse Rhetorical, but you are getting the 1A in that one as well. So we're going to round it out by going 4 deep here. And hopefully, if we pan up here before we jump out and go with 7, 9, see, that's 8-1 morning line. The 9 is 8-1 morning line. The 11 is 6-1 morning line, and the 12 is 5-1 morning line. So I know they won't all stay that way, but they're all pretty value type horses off the jump. So it's a 4 by 2 by 3 by 1 by 4. So you do the math on that, and that equals 96 divided by 2, which is a 50-cent ticket, $48, and that covers it. So that's your Friday late pick 5. Very best of luck to you. Remember to sub to the channel, leave a comment to get your name in the draw. Coming up next week is Haskell. Tomorrow we'll be getting out the late pick 5 for Saturday's racing at Saratoga. So until then, we'll see you soon.